All right, I'm going to show you guys how to make a little winter hat ornament. And all you're going to need for this project is a little bit of a paper towel or toilet paper roll. So you can just cut off about 3/4 of an inch width, and that is going to be for like the brim of your hat. You will need some type of paper with a hole punched in it. If you want to write the year or something else on it, you'll need a pen and that paper. You will also need a pair of scissors, an ornament hook, and you also need a little bit of this fluffer fill or batting. You could use toilet paper or paper towels if you don't have any. And this is just gonna stuff in and give some structure to your hat. And then also your yarn. You're gonna end up needing about 12 yard lengths of yarn in any number of colors. So this one was 4 colors. So to get to 12 yard lengths of yarn, I needed 3 yard length strings of each of my colors, because 3 times 4 colors equals 12. Here I'm going to have a 6 color hat, so I had to get 2 of each of my 6 colors. And then this is, like I said, the length of a yard. I'm going to take each of these 12 strings, this yard length, and I'm going to cut them down into about 10 inches. So this is about too much to cut at one time, so I'm just going to split mine up into about half, gather my ends together, and I need to cut these down into about 10 inches. So with my scissors here, I'm just going to trim a set here, and each of these yard length sections will cut down into 3 10-inch lengths. And then you're going to have a couple inches spare. I'm going to save one of my longer pieces so I could tie the pom-pom up. So there's one set of my 10-inch pieces, and I'm going to trim the rest down, so about 10 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to save a couple of these longer ones so I have what I need to tie my tassel up, but all the rest of this is just my little bit left over, and now I have my 10-inch long pieces of yarn from the original 12 yard lengths I had cut. So now I'm just going to need my little sliver of my toilet paper roll. And again, this is about 3/4 of an inch thick piece of toilet paper roll. You can just measure and cut with a pair of scissors from the end of a roll like this, and just about 3/4 of an inch should be good. So you may want to pick out your pattern first, what color, what order you want to go, divide these up, come up with a plan. I'm just going to grab from my pile here. And you're going to fold one of these strings, these 10-inch strings, into half. And I'm going to take the looped end through the ring of my toilet paper roll. And I'm going to take the cut ends up into that opening and then pull off to the left here. And I'm going to repeat that. So if I want to repeat my pattern, if I want to have 2, 2, 2, 2 of each color, I'm going to go ahead and do like a thicker. This was just one set, so every string you put down is actually going to be 2. So I'm going to do a thicker stripe. I'm going to go ahead and put down 2, but you can come up with any kind of pattern. And again, the loop is going to go through the opening, and then the cut ends, you want them to be close to each other in length, but you're going to end up trimming some of them off, so it's okay if they're not exact. I'm going to pull this off to the left. All my strings should be going the same direction. And now that I've done 2 of that color, I'm going to switch to another color in my pattern, and I'm going to keep on going all the way around. Yes, this will take a while. You have quite a few strings to put through, but at least it is a pretty simple method of creating this kind of slip knot around my piece of toilet paper roll. So I've gone through all but my last 2 pieces. Should use just enough, all of those 12 times 3 number of pieces that we have cut down into the 10-inch pieces. Okay, so next step, I'm going to push all of these strings through the opening to the other side. So I'm just going to flip these through in no graceful way, because once it comes to the other side, I'm going to need to sort these back out and clean them up so that my lines in my hat kind of match with the brim of my hat. So I'm just going to flip these over and kind of comb them through. I'm going to take one of my scrap long strings. I just save a couple just in case, but I'm just going to use one of them here. And at this point, if you're going to do a tag on your hat, you're going to want to, this is just a little sheet of paper with a tiny hole punched in it. And I'm just going to put on mine a 2020. You can put, of course, something else on there. and you will need to thread that little string through the hole if you're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to take my ends of my string, give a little bit of space, maybe about like 1.5 inches here, and then tie a double knot. So I'm just going to gather this together. If that looks a little too short, I could slide this line up just a bit. And I'm going to pull it nice and tight, and while it's still really tight, tie a second knot right on top of the last one. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my batting, my fluffer fill, and pack it up there so that my hat holds its form. And over time, you can kind of sort out these lines to get them kind of matching right on top of the stripes down below. So any of this, you can go through and try to clean that up. And the last couple steps here, I'm going to put a little bit more batting in, is to trim the pom-pom at the top. So all of this is kind of all over, and we're going to try to make it a little bit more kind of rounded and sculpted out. So I'm going to move my tag out of the way, make sure that's good to go, and then just begin kind of trimming these strings. Okay, and then last step is just to take your little ornament hook here and hook that on the string that I tied around to make the pom-pom at the top. And this little winter hat's ready to hang. Again, if you want to go through and kind of even out these lines a little bit to make your pattern a little bit more visible, you can always go back and work on that. And that is my little ornament hat.